I'm still processing what just happened on NXT tonight. The show took place in its home of Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. And I guess before we get to the big news from the show, which was the ending, which probably the most shocking moment in NXT history, the biggest upset ever, has to be one of the biggest upsets. Obviously not as much as the Undertaker streak ending at WrestleMania 30 at the hands of Brock Lesnar, but Stephanie Vaquer losing her NXT Women's Championship to Jacy Jayne has to be one of the most random title changes, one of the biggest shocks of all time. I'd almost compare it to Triple H losing his title to Chris Jericho on a Raw, I think in an episode in either 99 or 2000, when Jericho just randomly won the belt. It was actually in 2000, and no one could actually believe it, but then they reversed it. And I think that happens here. I think Vaquer will get the belt back because Jacy Jayne, come on, of all people in NXT, that great women's division, her to be women's champion right now, come on. This has to be like a 2 or 3 week title reign. Anyway, you have the Great American Bash. The big news during the day was it's going to take place on July 12th, Saturday, July 12th. It'll start at 2 o'clock p.m. And what else is happening on that day? Well, AEW is doing their biggest show of the year, All In Texas, Dallas, Texas, while Great American Bash will take place in Atlanta, Georgia. And they're going head-to-head. So many people are upset about WWE. They think they're hurting AEW on purpose. They're, going head-to-head on their biggest show of the year. It is what it is. WWE can run shows whenever they want. I mean, you've heard numerous AEW stars say that their wrestling is better, so hey, they shouldn't be worried, right? It's only WWE's developmental brand. So I don't have a problem with it. I'll be watching Great American Bash, so we'll see what happens on that show. I really hope Jacy Jayne is not the NXT Women's Championship going into that show, and I certainly hope she's not going to Evolution as NXT Women's Champion. We'll get to that later. So he had Fatal Influence reunited. They're walking outside the PC together. JC, Fallon, Jasmine next. And then we see Stephanie Vaquer arriving as well. We start off with the NXT North American Championship, the first of 2 title changes. Ricky Saints defended his title against Ethan Page. So you had security surrounding the ring. They break up a fight before the match even starts. You had Ava come out and tell the refs to use their discretion. So basically it's going to be a no DQ match without actually saying it. They're letting stuff go. And it just turns into not necessarily a street fight, but like a no DQ, anything goes kind of match where refs kind of let stuff go. But, I mean, at the same time, they kind of enforce it, so it's kind of murky in a way. However, it's essentially a brawl. This wasn't really a match. It was just a fight. They fought in the crowd for a while. And the big turning point in this match for Ethan Page is when they're brawling outside, there's a chair that's set up, and the chair is normally, set up how you sit on it, but instead it's reversed. So the seat is at the bottom while the legs are on top, as is the crossbar. And Ethan Page hits a cutter on Ricky Starks onto the upside down chair, and Ricky's throat goes it slams into the crossbar, and the crossbar breaks, and it's just nasty. It is a nasty looking spot. It's not a dangerous spot. I'm sure it was gimmicked. It was not dangerous, but the way they sold it after, it just looks so brutal. And Ricky Saints is selling it there's spit coming from his mouth. He can't believe it. He's selling it like he's freaking gasping, like he's dying. It's so good how they sell it. And it's a little over the top, but I mean, I thought that was done so well. And, when that happened, I thought, all right, Ethan Page has to win. Because if Ricky Saints still wins after that spot, Ethan Page is the biggest jabroni. So Ricky's selling his throat excellent here. He makes a comeback while also selling the throat, but, Page slapped him in the throat once, and then near the end of the match, Page is on the apron, and Saints goes to hit him, but then Page whips the rope into Ricky's into Ricky's throat, which causes more pain for him, and then Ethan Page hits the Twister Grim. He pins Ricky Saints, and he regains he becomes the new NXT North American Championship. He would have to regain the NXT Championship if he wants to do that again, but he's NXT North American Champion. He won't be facing Ricky Saints at the next event because he came out later. However, I would hope that they have a rematch at the Great American Bash. Maybe we get maybe a cage, and Ricky regaining the belt. I would like to see that. Backstage, Sarah Schreiber interviews Fatal Influence, and again, they're still teasing tensions between Fallon Henley and JC Jane. And I thought Fallon Henley was going to be the star. I thought they should push her. I don't know what to make of what happened tonight. You had a Mike Santana highlight video. Then you had Josh Briggs and Nakamura reuniting backstage. They want to go for the tag team titles, and Nakamura says something bigger. I'm not sure. I think that maybe means the main roster. I don't know. Maybe TNA tag titles. I'm not sure what he really wants to go for. Mike Santana was up next. He went up against Tavion Heights, and Santana is just thrilled to be there. He enters through the crowd. He's super pumped. They had a solid match. It was just basically a showcase for Santana, and they shake hands at the end, but Charlie Dempsey is disgusted with Tavion Heights. He's really mad. Rence Leclerc looks on, as does Miles Bourne, and they're proud of how hard Tavion fought, but Charlie Dempsey is mad, and obviously there's going to be a big turn. They did the NXT focus on the High Rise Don't Care. You had Andre Chase giving advice to his students backstage, and then they go up to Ava to ask her for a match, and she announces they will get a match, and they're going to face Dark State next week. Andre Chase is furious, and I thought it was actually really funny. I think he's entertaining. I hope they keep him in NXT forever. Just let him be like that NXT guy. He never has to go to the main roster. He can just stay there forever, and there's always going to be new students who graduate from Chase U. You had the Dawn talking to Luca backstage, and I think that's another gimmick that can stay in NXT. I'm not sure what the Dawn can do on the main roster, and they're talking backstage. He explains why he showed up, and the Dawn is a little suspicious of him, so they're building up that story soon. I don't know what's going to happen with him and Stacks. That match really sucked at Battleground. I'm not going to lie. The only bad match on that show. He had a TNA champion, Trick Williams, out next. He talks about ruling TNA. He wants to change the name to Trick in Action, and then Mike Santana interrupts him. He tears into Tricks. He calls him out for disrespecting TNA, and he calls him, I'm shocked, a fake-ass fighter. He called him a fake-ass rapper. He tore into Trick. It's what a lot of us think of Trick, and I mean, Santana just destroyed him. I can't believe they're doing this. This is the TNA champion, yes, but this is also like a major star in NXT, and they're having this other guy signed to another company just tear into Trick Williams like I've never seen. I'm surprised they allowed him to say this stuff. This had to be, they had to allow this because he can't just go and shoot on him. I mean, he just tore into Trick like you've never seen before. Eventually, they set up the match for next Tuesday. Trick went for the cheap shot. Santana fought him off, and Trick retreats. Trick will win, I'm sure, after this promo next week, but man, he ripped him a new one. You had Ava backstage talking to Stephanie Vaquera about the fight she had at Battleground. She makes a tag team match, and then Lola Vice comes up to her and says she'll be her tag team partner. So it's Lola and Stephanie teaming up at WWE Worlds Collide against the two AAA ladies. We would see them later tonight, by the way. Jada Parker's in the ring, and then Tatum Paxley is out after her. And Tatum Paxley is holding figures of both Shotzi Blackheart and Gigi Dolan, and there's a Gigi doll that was visibly used. He had Jada Parker and Tatum Paxley. Jada threw in the ring, so Jada's on the outside. There's a doll, and she specifically grabs the Gigi Dolan doll. It's the redhead, so it's Gigi. She throws her in the ring, and it distracts Tatum, who's heartbroken when she sees Gigi, and then Jada finishes her with that running hip attack. Jada pins her. I'm thinking, oh, they're going to bring back Gigi? Are they going to do something with her again? I mean, they just released her, so no, but why would they immediately bring her up like that? It's weird. Shotzi had no belief, but I mean, they threw the Gigi figure in the ring, so that was interesting. Thea Hale attacks Jada Parker after the match, so it's a response from last week when Jada just attacked her for no reason. He had Jasper Troy heading to the ring. Jasper Troy crushed Dante Chen. Not much here. It was a showcase for him. Obafemi confronted him after the match. He stared on the podium, and he says his 5 minutes of fame are over, and I don't want to see that match. I'm not going to lie. I don't care. I want to see Oba lose to Javon. I mean, not anytime soon. It's not going to happen at the World Collide. That's why I want to see him lose the belt to, or Miles. I wouldn't mind either of them. No Quarter Catch Crew is backstage. Charlie Dempsey doesn't want them to be single stars. Him and Miles begin arguing, and then they set up a match between the two of them. It'll be a rounds match. If Miles wins, he's free from the No Quarter Catch Crew. I'm thinking to myself, can't you just leave? Why is he under contract to No Quarter Catch Crew? You can just go anytime. He's signed to NXT. It's a stupid storyline, but whatever. Ethan Page is in the ring to celebrate his victory earlier in the night. Javon Evans interrupts him and announces that he's facing Ethan at Worlds Collide. Ethan's pissed off, and then Laredo Kid, I believe from AAA or TNA, one of them, I'm not sure. He's out in the crowd, and he announces that it's going to be a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship at Worlds Collide. And then Ray Phoenix is out, and he announces it'll be a Fatal 4-Way match. And I thought was, Ethan Page, who's very good. Javon Evans, who's freaking crazy. Laredo Kid, I'm sure, is good. And Ray Phoenix, who's really good as well. Those four, a Fatal 4-Way match at Worlds Collide, they're probably going to get a lot of time. They're going to have just one of the most insane matches. That's going to be the best match on the whole show, I think. So I'm looking forward to that, and we have that to look forward to at Worlds Collide. Ava's backstage with the two assistants, and they talk about Shawn Legacy getting an opportunity. They promote the Evolve show, which I guess they're crowning the first ever women's Evolve champion tomorrow night. I don't plan on tuning in, I'm sorry. He had Fatal Influence walking backstage, and I was thinking, Fallon's a star, right? I mean, no, it was not. No, they teased tensions, definitely, but how it ended, I don't think anyone saw coming. Then we see Stephanie Vaquer walking out with the whole roster of women staring her down. He had backstage, Tatum Paxley's crying, and then Zarya and Sol Ruca console her. The culling look on in the background, so they're trying to recruit Tatum Paxley. They preview next week's show, and we get the main event next. Stephanie Vaquer defending her NXT Women's Championship against JC Jane. So JC and Fatal Influence are out first. Vaquer's out next, so a good pop. So early, I don't think we got the Devil's Kiss any time in the... we did get later in the match, sorry. JC counters the Devil's Kiss early, and then he had the two AAA women interfered, and Lola Vice fights them off. They're having a decent match, and it's pretty good, I thought. And I'm pretty sure Vaquer did hit the Devil's Kiss. And it's all right. She's going to hit the SVD. There's like 1 minute left. We're going home, right? Okay, so there's a moment on the apron where Stephanie attacks Gigi. It's not Gigi, JC. Oh, I'm getting confused. And JC counters, so Stephanie's head is on not the apron, the turnbuckle. So her head is kind of in like the middle post. And the ref's distracted by Jasmine. Then Fallon basically hits like a 619 onto Stephanie into the post, and that hurts her. And then Gigi does her spinning like back fist, wherever her finisher is. Did I say Gigi? JC. Why do we keep getting mixing up? Okay. JC hits her finisher. JC Jane hits her finisher on Stephanie Vaquer. 1, 2, 3. What the fuck? What the fuck? JC Jane's the NXT Women's Champion. JC Jane pins Stephanie Vaquer to win the NXT Women's Championship. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to fucking say. I can't believe that fucking happened. I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. JC is not good. She's not that good. She's okay. She's not terrible, but she's not good enough to be the women's champion in that division. There's so many women who are so much better than her, who talk better than her, who are far better, far more over than her. Her gimmick's not over. It's ever since she left the fatal, the Toxic Attraction, and then, the Fatal Influence thing never got over. Fallon was supposed to be the star. I just don't get it. Why? JC Jane? Are you kidding me? This is the dumbest decision they've ever made. And again, if it's just to pop a rating, whatever. NXT's ratings are good. They don't have to do that. They don't have to resort to popping a rating. If Vaquer's going to win it back in a couple weeks, okay, fine. But, I mean, why? Like, what's the point of this? You're diluting the belt when you do stuff like this. I really think they dilute the belt. You're putting the belt on JC Jane? Why? She's not that good. She's going to be a champion over Stephanie Vaquer in that division. And Vaquer is going to the main roster. But why not? I wish Jordan Grace just beat Vaquer on Battleground now. Let's have that, do that. All right, Grace is the champion. Cool. I just don't get it. I don't know. I mean, you're going to actually have JC Jane going to Evolution as NXT Women's Champion in that division, ahead of Stephanie Vaquer, ahead of Jada Parker, ahead of Jordan Grace, ahead of so many women who are so much better than her. And another thing I thought, this women's division is supposed to be the best ever. It's suffered a lot. Vaquera's probably gone. Julia's gone. Roxanne Perez is gone. It's not that great women's division, the best women's division in the world. No. I'm perplexed by this. I don't get it. But it is what it is. I'm done saying, well, I'll give it a chance now. I've seen so many of these type of title reigns. They put the belt on someone who's just not good. It's kind of like Jinder Mahal. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Jinder Mahal winning the World WWE Championship. That's what this reminds me is. This is a stupid decision, man. I don't get this. I just hope it's not quick. And if they're going to go through a long JC Jane title reign, I'm thinking, man, you guys deserve to get your ass kicked on July 12th if you're actually going to have a long JC Jane title reign. I don't approve. I hopefully Vaquera wins the belt back soon. I just hope this is a quick title reign. Won't have to see it too long. I do not understand this. I don't get this. I don't like this. I don't support this. Nah, this is a bad decision.